Coming to you from Maltby Studio at Slippery Rock University, I'm Nathan Preisel.
And I'm Morgan Koziar. On this week's show, there will be stories about Trump's popularity, sports, weather, and more. Stay tuned.
Students who logged into My SRU after March 9th may have noticed that My SRU has been given a makeover. It has been moved to a single login. Some of the main highlights of the update are access to multiple university websites, easier to use, and being mobile friendly. All the same features are still there. If you haven't seen the new look yet, log into My SRU and check it out.
Join Slippery Rock University Musical Theater Society in a night celebrating some of the best musicals to ever hit Broadway. Featuring musical numbers from Grease, Book of Mormon, Hair, Next to Normal, Footloose, Spamalot, and more. The Musical Theater Society is sure to keep your toes tapping and your hips swaying all night. On both Wednesday, March 23rd and Thursday, March 24th, the show begins at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are $6 for general admissions and $4 for SRU students who show their ID at the door. On March 23rd from 12:30 to 1:30 in the afternoon, the director of the Career Development Center, John Rendy, will be discussing LinkedIn and the next steps in advancement usership. Most students have a LinkedIn account but don't exactly know what's next once they have it. Rendy will be talking about the best ways to connect and show interest in companies. There will be a group discussion about categorizing and broadening your connections in particular fields. The event will take place in the Strain Behavioral Science Building, room 007D. Be sure to stop by and improve your professional profile.
A Butler landmark will probably be torn down after a fire ripped through the building Friday evening. Officials say that the old Worsley's building will likely have to come down after it sustained heavy water and roof damage during the 7-hour blaze. A couple who was living in the apartment where the fire happened said they lost everything and are looking for a new home. Worsley's closed down in 2014 after 87 years in business. The small storage portion of the building was still up for sale at the time of the fire. Officials aren't sure what caused the fire and are currently investigating.
A 45-year-old woman was recently arrested for multiple cases of robbery in Cranberry Township. Police say the woman has been reported by others in the area as looking suspicious. On Tuesday, a couple in the area rushed to call 911 after they saw the woman break into their car. Other incidents involving the woman include shoplifting. The residents of Cranberry's Fernway neighborhood have seen the most crimes and have learned over the past few weeks to take extra caution by making sure that all doors are locked to their houses and cars. Now residents are pleased to know that the suspect has been taken into custody and will face several years in prison.
This Wednesday, tragedy struck a small town in Pittsburgh when two gunmen opened fire at a backyard barbecue around 11 p.m. 7 people were killed in the shooting, including 25-year-old Chanetta Powell, who was 8 months pregnant. 3 other people were injured. All children were inside during the shooting, according to police. The 2 shooters took post on Hazel Way and an alley behind the house, armed with a .40 caliber handgun and an assault-style rifle. From the alley, one man fired the .40 caliber at the group, and the other shot the rifle from the side of the house as people were trying to flee. According to Allegheny County Homicide Lieutenant Andrew Skurman, 67 shots were fired.
We're going to take a short commercial break, but when we return, we'll have Chief Meteorologist Matt Brand with your weekly weather update.
Hearing is a vital part of our everyday lives. We can hear the sounds of cars, people talking, and people walking. That is the reality for thousands of people across the United States. Here in Slippery Rock, the American Sign Language Club is working to help the hearing understand the struggles.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me.
Dr. Baylock, the advisor to the ASL Club, had this to say in regards to ASL at Slippery Rock.
Even though we don't have a large population of deaf or hard of hearing students, we have enough people who know deaf people, hard of hearing people, or family member. We have enough people who are aware. So yeah, you know, this is a sign-friendly, deaf-friendly school.
We worked with 2 summers previously with disabilities, and the kids there were awesome. They were able to teach me. That's kind of where I learned the deaf culture a little bit more, was how to find different ways for kids to understand how you're speaking to them.
Interpreting is not just knowing the language. You have to be able to hear it and then make it work accurately for the deaf person.
And I'm Shannon Parrish reporting for WSRU-TV. Now back to you.
Welcome back to Slippery Rock. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Brand in the WSRU Weather Center, taking a look at your weekly forecast. We're going to start off on Thursday with a high of 57 and a low of 36 with some rain. Once again, for your weekend, we have Friday, high of 48 and a low of 28. Saturday and Sunday, looking at a high of 50, a high of 45, and a low of 34 and a low of 30 for your weekend, with rain and even some snow showers late into Sunday. So that's always exciting. Rain in Pennsylvania and snow. Cool. As we move on to the next week, we have Monday. Snow showers once again, a high of 43 and a low of 28. Then moving on to the end, we have Tuesday. Partly cloudy skies with a high of 46 and a low of 32. And Wednesday with rain and a high of 50 and a low of 32. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Brand of the WSRU Weather Center. Now back to my guys in the studio.
In national news, with the election for president becoming closer by the day, Donald Trump is gaining more followers by the day. Many cannot understand how a man who is thought to be racist can be so popular in a racially oppressed America. The answer lies in the culture of Americans. With the current trend of reality TV stars dominating Hollywood, Americans love to hate these shows being some of the most popular programs watched. With Trump's outlandish remarks and obscene gestures towards others, Trump is creating a TV show for you to love to hate. Of course, nobody wants to talk to him about race or some of the issues concerning this country, but it gives people something to think about and talk about.
The Pennsylvania House of Representatives debated the use of medical marijuana in the state on Monday, voting on a bill that stated how to integrate distribution and use it in the state. The bill states that the drug cannot be sold in a smoke-able or edible form, but buyers could put it in foods themselves. The bill would allow for 25 growers and 50 dispensaries throughout the state. Reaction in the House has been mixed, with 2 Republican members questioning the health and safety risks that could occur if the bill was implemented, and one Democratic representative saying that the bill would allow doctors to help patients deal with pain. If the bill is passed in the House, it will be sent to the Senate, who will then vote on it.
Recently, there was a primary election day in Ohio where both Republican and Democratic candidates hoped to gain voters and ground for the upcoming election in November. Presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders took his biggest win of his campaign so far just 1 week ago. Sanders won the primary in Michigan over Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton. Now, he's hoping to take Ohio as well. 2 days ago, Sanders took his campaign to rally at the Cavalli Center in Youngstown for the primary today. Clinton still has a projected lead of over 5%. Ohio is an essential state to capture if candidates hope to get the nomination.
We're going to send it over to Doug Gilchrist and Ryan Tannehill for your weekly sports update.
Thanks, Morgan. In recent sports, the Slippery Rock University baseball team heads north to begin conference play when they play a series against Pitt Johnstown on Friday and Saturday. They play a doubleheader both days, playing at UPJ on Friday and at home on Saturday. The Rock is coming off a disappointing 3-8 trip over spring break, where they competed in the Russ Matt Invitational in Auburndale, Florida. This brings their overall record on the season to 5-14. There have been some bright spots on the team, however. Sophomore catcher Tyler Walters leads the offense with a .485 batting average, 6 home runs, and 26 RBIs, while junior outfielder Ty Zimmerman and senior infielder Alex Bell have also been impressive at the plate, batting .347 and .345 respectively. On the mound, redshirt senior pitcher John Anderson leads the way. He has compiled a 2-1 record with a 2.38 ERA with 18 strikeouts. SRU's first home game of the season is on Saturday, so come on out and root the Rock on to victory. Slippery Rock University women's lacrosse team has opened the season with a 3-1 record after defeating Edinburgh on Tuesday to begin conference play. They have scored a total of 57 goals in 4 games, while giving up only 44. The Rock is led by Erin Wilcox with 12 goals and Caitlin Callahan with 11.
Well, it's that time of the year again, March Madness, so get your brackets filled out and your excuses to miss work and school. Because Thursday and Friday we'll have non-stop action from just afternoon until after midnight. This year's field features a couple of newcomers to the big dance. Stony Brook and Cal State Bakersfield are making their first ever appearances in the tournament. The ACC got 2 of the 4 #1 seeds, with North Carolina and Virginia. Kansas was rewarded with the #1 overall seed. And Oregon got the final spot on the top line, edging out Michigan State, who many thought would be a #1 seed. So now just sit back and relax and see who's a pretender and who's a contender. The next 3 weeks will have many shining moments, and Cinderella will surely make an appearance. It will all culminate on April 4th, where the 2 teams that can win their next 5 games will compete in the national championship for all the marbles. Steelers wide receiver Martavis Bryant was given a 1-year suspension by the NFL. The suspension was handed out yesterday by Commissioner Roger Goodell. Bryant violated the league's substance abuse policy after being found with marijuana. This is not the first time that Bryant has been in trouble for marijuana. He and teammate Le'Veon Bell were suspended 2 games last season after they were found with the substance on their way to the team's plane. Brown will lose the $600,000 that he was scheduled to be paid this season. Now, his future with the team and possibly his career are in jeopardy.
On Monday in Scottsdale Stadium in Arizona, a scary event took place for all-star pitcher Johnny Cueto. Cueto, one of the top free agents in the market this offseason, was on the mound pitching for the Giants when he took a line drive to the head. Cueto was then checked for signs of concussion and brain trauma. After he was evaluated, he continued to pitch in the game, allowing 3 runs on 5 hits. Manager Bruce Bochy says that they will continue to monitor him. While this sort of danger on the mound has been going on for some time, it was only this year in spring training where new protective hats for pitchers are being tested. Still, with another scary situation like this happening, you have to wonder if Major League Baseball should either keep testing or make them a requirement. Well, that does it for your sports update, SRU. I'm Doug Gilchrist.
And I'm Ryan Tannehill. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Doug and Ryan. Well, that's all we have for you this week. I'm Morgan Koziar.
And I'm Nathan Preisel, and have a great week, Slippery Rock.